Hi, welcome to our foundation series for your success in Noland business. I'm glad that you're back, and I am so excited for what we are going through because I believe that so far you're getting great skills, and I hope you have already taken some action on what we have learned so far. We started with the mindset, the right kind of mindset that you should start this business with, because we all agreed that how you start the business is how you'll end it. In other words, if you start with a winning mindset, if your perception, if your attitude is right, you'll definitely hit it, and you'll hit it in the shortest time possible. Now, we also talked about the question of where and how do you find people. We talked about the name list. We talked about the warm market and the cold market. And I encouraged you to sit down and make your name list. I hope by now you have written your name list. And I hope it has as many people as possible. At least not less than 1,000. Now, after you've written the list, what brings us here today is another question, which I feel is probably the most important of all this series, this one, because I can relate with it. One day, I called a friend of mine. I was certain that we were going to do this business, and I was very sure that he is the best person that would take us to Rwanda. He comes from Rwanda. So I made a phone call. He agrees to come, and we meet at the restaurant. He jokes a lot. So he began his jokes and jokes and jokes. And then 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour into the appointment, every time I would want to bring the topic, he would still be making those questions. Oh, Edson, how about this? How about that? Because we have a little bit of history together. So what happens is that an hour later, he asks me, but Eddie, you told me you had a business idea to share with me. What is it? Now, by this time, it was already getting late, and I knew that if I would do the presentation, we would take longer and I would end up missing on my next appointment. So I told Joram, the business that I want to share with you is a very important business. The time we have is very little. I ask that we meet again and talk about the business. So he was not very happy. Of course, he accepted and we parted. Unfortunately, to date, every time I call Joram, he's very busy. I lost on an opportunity when I had Joram before my eyes and he could not get the opportunity from me. I was afraid. I didn't know what to start with, how to bring it out, and I missed on Joram until he shifted. Actually, what happened is that he shifted from Uganda and he went to Oman. He works in Oman currently. The second scenario that happened to me is an uncle of mine. Now, this one, I actually wanted to sell to him the products. We worship from the same church. He's a rich man, and I know he has the money, but I also knew the disease that he had. So I call him, and he accepts. We meet at church in the corner. He said, oh, come and tell me. Tomorrow I'm going to be very busy. You just come and tell me right now what you had called me for. So now he's forcing me to meet him the day before the meeting. I don't have the tools. I don't have the computer. I don't have the flyers. I went to church. But because there is time, well, I face the man. So he puts on the face. Yes, young man. You wanted to see me? What is it? How can I help you? If you were me, you can imagine what like typically went through in my biology. I can totally agree with you that my heart, my entire system stopped for a minute. I sweated. My palms were wet. I struggled, and he saw it in my eyes until he told me, "Don't mind, we can reschedule this meeting. I see you're not yet ready." Do you think I rescheduled the meeting? I did not. I want us to talk about what to say and how to say it when eventually you have met the person. Because I know you've probably written a long list of people and you're wondering, who should I call now? But when I call them, what do I say? How do I say? How do I begin? What should I say? I've been there. And I will give you some few tips that have helped me personally, things that I have learned from my mentors that I have used to build my business, and I have taught them to my team, and they have helped us. First of all, there are two categories of people that are in your list. There are people in your list that you have history with. You maybe started with 20 years ago, and you've not been in touch. Maybe even their phone numbers, you don't remember them, or you don't have them, you lost them. In other words, the relationship used to be there, but not much right now. That's category number one. Now, category number two is even yesterday you were together, you eat together, you worship together, you're always in touch. Even right now, you know what they are going through and all that. So the warm market is comprised of these two groups of people, and how you approach them is totally different. So let me begin with the first category, the guys you have not been in touch with for long. And I'll begin by warning you. Do not talk about your products or your opportunity for the first time when you have not met someone in a long period of time. Let me tell you, when you call a friend, you know, you are in a WhatsApp group together with this guy, maybe he's an OB, you don't chat with him, it's been 7, 8, 10 years, 20 years, you don't talk, but you know him, he knows you. And then all of a sudden you remember, "Oh, Angela, how are you? You know, I have a product for fibroids, and I remember on the group you posted that you had fibroids." Angela is thinking, okay, so you've just remembered me all these years. Where have you been? My suggestion to you is, the first conversation should be a conversation to rebuild a rapport, because you lost the rapport. You used to be friends, but now you're no longer. So first focus on rebuilding the relationship. Remember, in our previous videos, we said people do business with the people they know, like, and trust. Yes, they could be knowing you, but do they like you? Do they trust you? So you have to make sure that you first rebuild these three factors and ensure that there is some little bit of liking in them. So how do you do that? Bring back the memories. Begin from there. Talk about the good moments you had in high school, in primary school, the food, how they treated you well, how one day they even shared. The art teacher came to class and you didn't have an art book, and they accepted to tear a piece of their art paper and they gave to you so that you escape the terror of the teacher. Catch up with those great memories. Talk about the party, the leavers party, how the food used to taste. Catch up with the memories. As you talk about the memories, your connection is getting closer and closer and closer. Eventually, by the time you talk about your opportunity, they already feel good about you. Deal? Very good. Now let's talk about the second category. These ones, you know them, they know you, you're always in touch. Even, you talked yesterday, you're always in touch, really. No problem. For these ones, what you're going to do is you're going to call them. And you'll be very, very honest with them. Now, I'll tell you what to say in the phone call without beating around the bush, just in a few minutes. Let me take a moment to first talk about the third category of people. Now, these are people that are not so close to you. Maybe one day you met, they are maybe is a brother to the husband of your sister. And you have ever met him at a wedding somewhere, but he's not so much, really. They don't know you, you don't know much about them. There's that distant relationship, right? They have ever seen you. They come to church and sit somewhere in the other corner, and you sit in the other corner. And so, they know your face. They have ever seen you somewhere, right? Now, that category, in order for you to catch up with them, when you want to, before you bring the product, before you talk about the opportunity to them, first of all, face them, okay? Face them. This time around, when you go to church, walk straight to where they are. Look at them in the eye. Give them a smile. And give them a compliment. A compliment. Let me tell you, even if it's a stranger, there are two things that will melt the ice between the two of you. A smile and a compliment. So be very keen to observe what they are doing, how they are doing it, what they are putting on, how they are dressed, the watch they are putting on, the bag they are carrying, the hairstyle, their children, if they have children. Just be observant and find something good. And you should be genuine, like really, really genuine. Because if someone's hair is bad and you go tell them, you have nice hair, they won't take that lightly, because they know that their hair is actually not good. So make sure that you compliment them on something that is really outstanding. It could be their children who are very well disciplined. Go to them straight in the eye and say, hi, I've been seeing you for quite a number of Sabbaths or quite a number of Sundays here. I always see you seated there. But I came to tell you that you have good children. I love your children. I love their character. I have seen them, how they interact with others. They are very nice children. Oh, by the way, my name is Edson. What's your name? Who doesn't tell you their name after you have given them such a compliment? They will do, right? So that's what happens. The easiest way to melt the ice: smile, compliment. They have a nice watch, tell them, hey, that's a nice watch. Where did you buy it? They will tell you, especially if they also know that it's a nice watch. People buy a watch of $2,000, my friend. $2,000, and they're putting it on. $2,000, and it's on here. So my goodness, a Rolex. This is an original Rolex watch. Where did you buy it from? From Germany? From Dubai? And they will tell you, oh, no. I have a cousin who lives in London. And he brought it for me. Oh, okay, that's nice. By the way, my name is Edson. What's your name? So you see, you are now connecting with them. Now, once you've connected with somebody, now it's time to find their red button. It's time to find what their need could be. Again, this is something that I want to let you know. Before you introduce your product to somebody, you need to first know if they really need the product. So you first find the need and then you bring the product as a solution. Remember, I said in the first video that you need to look at yourself as a solution provider. So you are not a solution provider until you know the problem. So in this discussion, we now first find out the problem. And I have a formula that I normally use, and I recommend that you use the same formula. It's called the FORM approach. FORM. FORM. F stands for family. O stands for occupation. R for recreation. And M for motivation or money. Some people call it money, others will say motivation. So during your conversation, now they have told their name, you are now a little bit connecting. So start a conversation and begin to ask them about their family. Have a conversation around family, okay? For example, I talked about children, if they have children. So begin with the children, talk about their father, talk about your parents or your what. Now, as you talk about family, you are waiting for them to mention something bad. Either someone is sick in the family, or someone is supposed to go to school but they have not yet gone to school, or something. There is a challenge somewhere in family. And people are comfortable talking about their family, by the way, especially when you are when it's a two-way conversation. You don't be like as if you're interrogating them. You just ask question. No. When you ask a question, they answer. You also share a little bit about yourself. So as you're talking about family, they will tell you about their mother. Oh, by the way, how old is your mother? Oh, my mom is 87 now. Oh, wow. She has very good genes. Is she strong or weak? No. My mom, yeah, she should have been, but just that these days, she has some back problem. She has what? And then the other day we're in the hospital. Oh dear. So as she's explaining, or as he's explaining, you're nodding and say, oh dear, sorry about that. Oh dear. So now don't immediately say, oh, we have a product for back problem. No. It's not yet time to talk about your products. You're just engaging with somebody. You're finding out the problem. How deep? How wide? Okay? How urgent is it? So as they talk about their family, you're able to know, do they love their mother? Would they do anything for their mother? Do they love their children? Would they do anything for their children? So that's family. And then O is occupation. Ask them about what they're doing, okay? If you have an idea of what they're doing, maybe this person is a farmer, you can make a joke and say, hey, by the way, farmers these days, I think farmers, you are the only people in this country who are happy because everyone else is struggling with the economy. How are you guys doing? How is your farming business or your farming project? So they tell you, you think, oh, no, the price of things, and then begin a conversation around the price, around the weather, the pests, the international markets, and then Donald Trump and his laws and all that. So as you're talking about their work, their occupation, they are telling you about their boss, how the boss is nagging, and then talk about the salary, how the salary delays to come, and all these things are giving you ideas so that by the time you approach them, by the time you're telling them about your no land opportunity, you already have an idea of what their financial world looks like. Then we also have recreation. Recreation, talking about their spare time. How do they spend their free time? How do they spend their weekend? What would they love to do if they had all the money? Okay, so you want to know their hobbies, their wishes. Do they wish to travel? Do they wish to spend time with the family, but they don't have the time? Do they love football? So as you're discussing their hobbies, you're also getting to know what is it that they wish to do that they are not doing. Because you know that our business actually can give you the money, the time, and the opportunity, the freedom to travel the world, to do what you want to do, to build the house of your dream. So you're kind of finding out what is their recreation and what's the need they have? And then lastly, money. Be bold, talk about money. People love talking about money. So talk about money very, very freely. How much? So how much money? What business would you want to do if you had all the money? Talk about money, talk about money, talk about money. As you're talking about money, they will tell you about their frustrations, how the loans, the what. So you're also finding out more about their money mindset. My friend, 3 days later, or 5 days later, or 1 month later, you already know enough information about this prospect. So when the timing now is right, now you can set up an appointment for this person to see the opportunity. Again, I told you, don't talk about your opportunity during a casual conversation. Even when they talk about a sick mother, even when they talk about their ulcers, how terrible their ulcers is paining, I recommend don't be quick to say, oh, we have a very good product for ulcers. It is called GI, and it can treat and clear all and regenerate. They were not prepared for that. You're like someone who goes to plant a seed in a bush. You don't plant your nice seed before you prepare the garden. So now, time to prepare the garden because you have understood how this person's world looks like. So I suggest you make a phone call. The best way to set up an appointment is phone call. One, it's going to be short. They will not ask a lot of questions. And after all, you're not face to face, so they are not looking at your facial expression to see whether you are scared or not. You can easily hide around. Actually, you can even write your script and read it to them while on a phone call, and they will not know that you're reading a script. So the invitation is as simple as remind them of what they said during the conversation. Okay? In other words, their red button. Let me make an example. Somebody already told you during the conversation that they are looking for a child and they have been searching for a child for the past 8 years. And they are worried now their husband has started looking left and right. And she already told you how the mother-in-law is already on her neck. Everybody is already asking, when are you giving us a child? When are you giving us a child? And she's ready to do anything. She's desperate. But she's in pain, emotional pain. So you give her a call and say, Angela, since yesterday, since we talked about your issue of not being able to get a child, I've been thinking about you and it touched me so much. Angela, if I got a solution that would help you to get a child, I know you've tried so many things, but if there was another solution, would you be willing to check it out? Would you be willing to try one more time? If there was something that could help you to solve this problem, would you be willing to try something? That question, I love it so much because it's able to tell me whether this person is open-minded or closed-minded. Some people have ulcers, but they're not willing to try something else apart from what their doctor has said. So you're able to tell before you tell them about your GI. If it's a financial issue, ask them. We talked about your children and how your children haven't gone to school, and I've been thinking about you so much. I just have a question. Michael, if there was an opportunity that you can make some extra money that can help you to pay school fees for your children next term, on top of your busy job, would you create time to learn and do it? And they would say, I would give up everything for my children. Now they're willing, right? So now we tell them about the opportunity. So the point I am making is, first prepare the garden before you plant the seed. First, make sure that this person you have written, is ready to receive your message. And even when you give a message, even when you give an invitation, you're either inviting them for an event, or you're inviting them for a one-on-one meeting, or you are sending a link so that they can watch a certain video, because we have videos, recorded videos. There's a detox video, a GI video. So you could want just them to look at the GI video. But again, you still go through the same procedure. Prepare them first and then send them the video. If they say, I am willing to look at it, then send them the what? The video. If it's a meeting, first prepare them. When they say, I am willing to look at it, then you tell them, I have a meeting I have been invited for with my friends on Saturday at 2 p.m. We have one of the greatest success stories in this country who has achieved so much in a short period of time. It's an entrepreneurship business. And I thought about you as a friend because I know you are struggling financially. Can you join me on Saturday and we listen to these successful people? You never know, you could get an idea. Who says no, especially if they have ever discussed with you and you even remind them that you are the one who said that you needed money. You are the one who said that you need this. So an opportunity has come. Can you come with me? Can you have a look at this video? Can you attend this Zoom presentation? So in other words, you are inviting somebody based on their need. Don't invite somebody because of what you think. You're excited about a trip and you think everybody is excited about trips? Nara. First know what someone's need is and then invite them based on their need. So now, here is the challenge that you have. Now that you've written the list of people and I've told you what to do, can we categorize them now? Look at those that you need to first catch up with to rebuild the relationship. Those are people that you met back in the days and you haven't been in touch with them. Begin the conversations now. Begin. Chat with them. Chat with them. It can be a phone call. It can be a WhatsApp chat. It can be a physical, visit them. Decide to go and see them in their house to bring back that relationship. If it's someone that you've been used to, begin to find their need using the formula that I've given you. Form, family, occupation, recreation, and then talk about money. As you find out their need, then you are ready to send your invitation to make an appointment. There is no exact words that I will give you to use in making an invitation because it will depend on the person. Some of them are older than you, others are your juniors, your seniors, whatever. So the words might not be the same, but the concept is invite them based on their need. If they told you their father died of prostate and they are worried about themselves, call them and say, you remember you told me about your father's story? I have found something that can protect you from prostate cancer. Can you come and listen? Can you attend this meeting? Can you come and listen to this doctor? Can you watch this Zoom meeting? Can you download this link and watch it? So they are watching it. They are coming because they don't want to end like their father did. They are coming to the meeting because they want to see how to make some money to provide for their children, how to make some money to achieve their dreams. That's what brings them. So it's their problem that will bring them to the meeting, not the opportunity. Do you get the point? They are not coming. They don't need to know about Noland. They don't need to know about the Chinese company which is developing, that's none of their business. Their business is the problem they have. And so learn to use the problem people have to bring them to the meeting so that now you can present your opportunity as a solution to their problem. And that way, you increase the chances of a yes. In the next video, I'll talk about how to do the presentation. They have come already. Now it's time to talk about the product. It's time to talk about the business. How do you deliver a very effective presentation? So I hope you have subscribed by now to my channel so that you're able to get these videos as they drop. As soon as the video drops, trust me, if you have subscribed, you'll get a notification that there is a new video and you get access to it. And I hope by now you love our content. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share with your team so that they can also get the same information. I hope to see you in the next session when we'll be talking about the presentation. God bless you.